Everybody doing today? Back again with another video for you guys. And today what I have for everyone is my full review of the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge Plus. Now I know some of you guys may be saying, yo E, you had this? No unboxing? No first impressions? Well, I decided to forego all that. This device is kinda old. It's 2, maybe 3 years old. And there's a ton of unboxings and first impressions videos. Decided to jump past that, so you guys let me know whether I want this style of video where we just jump into the review after I've been using it for a while, or maybe you guys like my unboxing and first impressions. You guys let me know down in the comments. But I decided I've had this for a little bit and I've been using it off and on. I finally got a handle on everything I wanted to cover for you guys. So y'all know how the story goes. Once I get a handle on everything I want to talk about with you guys, then it's full review time. And also wanted to point out before I jump in, this whole video is being recorded using the 13 megapixel primary camera on the LG G6 at UHD resolution at 30 frames. So let me know how the audio sounds and let me know how the video looks. Alright, jumping straight in, the first thing I want to talk about with you guys is the build quality and design on this S6 Edge Plus. Now, from a build quality and design standpoint, I gotta say that Samsung did a great job with this device. There's no rattling or creaking of any kind, and the glass and metal construction makes this guy look and feel very premium. And for the price you can pick this up for nowadays, this is, if you like big Quad HD displays and you're okay with the curves, then this is a must pick up. And at the price, which we're going to talk about a little bit later in the video, I'd say why not. But talking about the build quality and design, I would have to say that Samsung did a great job on this one. There is, however, one downside to this design, and that one downside is those curves. Man, those curves. Now, yes, you get additional functionality with the curves, but man, do you get some mad mispresses with this curved device. Many times I'm watching videos, playing games, and I'm accidentally activating stuff. I'm sending text messages, I'm accidentally activating stuff, and that's because of these curves. There's not really anything for me to hold on to. And really, when I was recording videos and taking pictures, I really felt like I was going to drop this guy all the time. And those curves, although it looks nice and feels good in the hands, it does become a handful after a while. So although the build quality and design on this guy is great, I would say that those curves, at least in my opinion, is the one downside to the build quality on this device. If this was a purely flat edge device, it would be even better in my opinion. But from a build quality and design standpoint, Samsung did a great job with this guy here. Moving on, the next thing I want to talk about with you guys is that display. Up front, dead center here, we have a 5.7 inch Quad HD display with them curves all day. And oops, didn't mean to launch the camera, but y'all see that quick double press of the home button launches the camera. Didn't mean to do that. But as I said, from a display standpoint, guys, I have to say that this is a solid display. Very, very solid. Again, it's a 5.7 inch Quad HD display, as you guys can see right there, with a screen density of 515. So all you guys who like to know the exact numbers, there it is. But putting the numbers aside, in day-to-day usage, using this guy outdoors to, as I go through my day, make phone calls, watch YouTube videos, watch Amazon Prime videos, watch Netflix, this has been a great display. And other than the fact that the curves create a lot of mispresses for me, I would say that this display, other than that aspect, is a really, really solid display, and I've had no issues with it. And you can see It gets incredibly bright there, guys. Incredibly bright. So, from a display standpoint, again, this is a solid display. Now let me dial it back down because it's kind of making my eyes hurt. And let's keep it moving. Now, up next, what I want to talk to you guys about is some more about the hardware and software built in this guy. So let's start off with the hardware. Hardware-wise, internally, this guy has an Exynos octa-core 7420 Exynos processor, and it has an a Mali T720 GPU. It has 4 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of onboard storage. There is no micro SD card expansion in this guy. This guy has a 3000 milliamp hour battery. On the rear, it has a 16 megapixel camera, and it does have ISO focus technology in it. Some weird focus technology, but it does focus quite fast. But it has a 16 megapixel camera in it. It can record videos up to 4K resolution at 30 frames a second. It can do slow motion. It can even do fast motion. All that good stuff. It has optical image stabilization. It has electronic image stabilization. All that good stuff is packed into the 16 megapixel camera here. And you can see it has that LED flash and that heart rate sensor. Samsung was big into the heart rate sensors for this generation of the Samsung Galaxy S6. Alright, and really I just want to point out that this review can go for pretty much all versions of this phone. Aside from the display size and the battery differences, the S6 Edge Plus had the biggest battery in the family at 3000 milliamp hours. Stepping down to the S6 Edge, that one had 2600 milliamps. Stepping down to the regular S6, that one had a 2550 milliamp hour battery. Other differences between this guy and the other models were the other models get 3 gigs of RAM, and they get 32, 64, and 128 gigs of storage respectively, because there's no micro SD card expansion. So if you take a lot of videos and a lot of pictures and you do a ton of app downloads, you want to go for the highest storage capacity possible. Other than that, as I said, the other models had 3 gigs of RAM and those storage capacities. This guy has 4 gigs of RAM and 32 or 64 gigs of onboard storage. Some other differences between this guy and the other models are the other models have smaller displays, but they have IR blasters. This one does not have an IR blaster. I don't know why Samsung decided to get rid of that on their top-end device for this generation of Galaxy, but I really do appreciate the IR blasters. I can't tell you how many times they've come in handy, but it is what it is. Just wanted to point out those hardware differences. However, moving on, up front here, again, we have the 5.7-inch Quad HD display. We have a 5 megapixel camera, which can record video up to 2K resolution at 30 frames a second. I do believe it can also do slow motion. I don't remember exactly, but I do believe it can. And yeah, then you have your sensors. You have your LED notification light in there, all that good stuff. You got your home button flanked by capacitive keys, and this generation did have a really good fingerprint sensor, but it's still a clickable button, so that's really nice. Alright, so software wise, originally I think this guy came with Android 5.0 Lollipop with Samsung's TouchWiz on top. And you know, Samsung, in regards to software, they pretty much took the kitchen sink and was like, yeah, let's put this into a mobile device. So you have a ton of features with this guy. Now, I've taken all the updates, and this guy is running Android 7.0 Marshmallow. Let me show you guys real quick. Alright, so you can see it right there. It is running Android 7.0 Marshmallow. So it's really cool to see that Samsung actually updated their older devices. Now, I can't really talk about the speed of the update because I've gotten this device well after the cycle, so I don't really know if any other older devices got their timely updates, but I knew from past Samsung devices and experience, their updates usually take a while, and then it comes down to the carriers that the devices are on. This particular model is a Verizon model, but it is GSM unlocked, and I have been using it via T-Mobile. So there is that. And just so y'all know, a lot of Verizon devices come unlocked out of the box. All you really have to do is drop your SIM in it, and if you get good coverage, it's gonna pop up no problem. If it doesn't, you may have to input those APNs, which is not hard to do. But this is a Verizon model, and it is GSM unlocked, and I have been using it on T-Mobile. So there's that. So in terms of software, as I've said, you got a ton of features here. You got your split screen multitasking here, which Samsung has pretty much been doing for the longest time, but now it's integrated into the Android software. It's baked in with 7.0, but Samsung's been doing that with many of their Galaxy devices since I believe it started with the S3. Then also, Samsung has one of the best theming engines on any